Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my Microsoft E3 2016 press conference reactions video. So pretty much Xbox came out swinging pretty hardcore. They announced the new... Why is there screaming in the background? They announced a new Xbox One Slim, or the Xbox One S. I'm gonna roll a video of that thing right now because I got instantly super excited. Introducing the Xbox One S. Pretty cool looking. Digging the colors and the style of it. Forgot how long this video actually is. Let's see if I can skip ahead a bit here. It's sleeker, 40% smaller. 2 terabyte hard drive. You can't see it because my face is in the way. I'm sorry. An IR blaster, which is pretty good. Integrated power supply, so no more like giant box. And this by far HDR gaming, so high dynamic range gaming. Fucking phenomenal. And also 4K Ultra HD video and Blu-ray playback. So, from my understanding, that would mean this new beast is an actual 4K Blu-ray player, which is what I've been hoping for from the consoles this year. I really hope PlayStation reveals something similar. Also really cool stuff on the controller there as well. Looks pretty slick to me. Xbox One S. Kotaku reported like the Xbox One S should be coming out within a couple months or something like that. Which... that sounds pretty cool. Hopefully it's at a reasonable price, because just for besides a gaming console, just for the 4K Blu-ray player alone, I would be interested in getting it as an option, as an alternative option to the only 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player that is on the market right now, which is Samsung's 4K player at $400. So if this guy was at $399 as well, and you're getting both a really fantastic console and a 4K Blu-ray player out of it, like, that'd be a win-win situation for me, for sure, hands down. So keeping up with some hardware announcements here, another cool thing that Xbox announced, kind of their thing this year was choose the way you want to game, basically. I thought this was really cool. You can actually design your own controllers. So there's a cool website, I'm assuming. You go in, you design the colors. You can do, like, I think they said there was like 8 million different combinations of colors you could do. And you can also customize it as well with like your name and stuff as well. That one looks really cool. Thinking I need some, maybe some Mr. Fox game controllers? I don't know. Maybe I should like make a bunch and like just give them away on my channel. I don't know. That's a good idea. Let me know in the comments below. But that that I got really excited about, and I think that was like a lot of people's really excitement as well. They literally talk about the Xbox One S starting at $299. That's the 500 gigabyte one, of course, which I think that's all you would really need. I don't know why people think gamers think they need like a 2 or 1 terabyte hard drive. Hey, people come in and I need more hard drive. Just, what the hell? You don't need that much hard drive space. $300, and it apparently plays 4K Blu-rays. I guess I'm sold. Cat, we need $300. Okay. Now actually moving on. So along with the new Xbox One Slim, or the Xbox One that plays 4K gaming, or plays at least 4K Blu-rays and plays 4K video playback, probably through their apps like Netflix and stuff. They also announced Project Scorpio. So I thought this was Project Scorpio at first, but I guess it is not. It's basically just a newer, slimmer Xbox with a 4K Blu-ray player inside of it, which is fantastic. I'm all for that. But Project Scorpio, they talked briefly about it. They just basically said it is going to be a beast of a machine. Let me scroll back down to my notes. Here we go. So it's going to be able to play 4K video games, 4K gaming, and it's going to be their VR console. So I don't know if the Xbox VR systems is going to support the original X1 or the One S. However, it will be part of Project Scorpio. No news whether it's going to come bundled with that or whatever, but it's supposed to be one of the most powerful GPUs on the market for console gaming. Fallout, I forget the dude's name, but the head of Bethesda, he talked about how they wanted to bring Fallout 4 to the Project Scorpio in 4K, possibly with the VR. It's got like 8 cores, and they said 6 teraflops of power. I can't quite remember I don't even know what a teraflop is exactly, but one of my, besides being the home theater geek and me nerding out again over the 4K gaming aspect, what I thought was really cool is like all previous Xbox One games are going to work on Scorpio, and all the accessories will as well. So your controllers and other things, all that good stuff. And it's supposed to be out around Christmas time in 2017. So that's actually something to look forward to. It's going to be a while before we see it, but it is there. So before moving on to the games, I'm going to talk about just some of the other random stuff that, just quality of life stuff that Xbox talked about. So a lot of their stuff, a lot of the exclusive games they showed off were going to be Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive. So I don't know if that means, like, if I'm running Windows 7 or 8, can I not play this game on my PC? Or if I'm not running Windows at all, what does that mean? I don't think it's going to come to that, but I feel like maybe they're just, yeah, Windows 10. But what they did talk about was their Play Anywhere thing. And some games say when you bought it on Windows 10 or Xbox One, if you bought it on an X1, you would own it on Windows 10. And what was really cool is you could be playing on Xbox One and then just like basically stop, save your game, and then just pop it back in, write it in, and start it up again on like your computer, which I thought was really, really cool. I don't think all their games are gonna. Some of the games will have that feature, but I don't know if they'll come with both versions of the games. And then they did talk about Xbox Live quite a bit. They're going to be adding more Xbox Live servers to where gamers are actually at to have a better online experience. They talked about backwards compatibility, and they're going to be adding more to that. One of the biggest things that they talked about was background music is coming to Live. So, like if I'm playing a game, I can have whatever music I want playing in the background of the game, which is pretty cool. You're going to be able to choose your language depending on, even no matter where you're at. Cortana is coming to Xbox Live and Xbox, and then Xbox Live is going to be on tons of more devices now for you to kind of communicate with your friends and all that other jazzy stuff. And then they're also doing 2 cool things that I guess people have been asking for were clubs. So like, say you play Gears of War a lot, there's a Gears of War club where you can go in and meet players of Gears of War, so on and so forth. And then also looking for group features. So if you're looking for someone to do a specific mission with that you can't beat, you can ask for other players for help from that game. So enough of like hardware and software, non-gaming software announcements. We're going to move on to video games. So one of the first games they brought in was the new Gears of War. The game honestly looks pretty cool. Don't own an Xbox, never played Gears of War, but I know the game's pretty good. What they touted or talked about quite a bit was the cross-platform play. So, like if I'm on PC and you're on Xbox One, we can play together. And then, of course, co-op mode. So there's a co-op mode now, so 2 people can play the campaign together, I believe. And the game, Gears of War 4, is going to be out October 11th of 2016. That was a bad storm. So, at the end of the demo, they also talked about a Gears of War, so a new Elite controller. It's Gears of War themed. Controller looks really cool. And then keeping in line with Gears of War stuff, they also talked. They came out and talked about Killer Instinct, which they released last year, which was a pretty big hit around the fighting game community. and they're releasing a new DLC character for that from Gears of War, which, yeah, I don't know who he is. He looks like the alligator man from like Marvel movies, but it's General Ram from Gears of War. He looks pretty badass. But you can look forward to him coming to Killer Instinct, which should be cool for you guys. So there's a couple of games I'm just going to kind of go over real quick, because we kind of talked about one in the last video, and I'm sure we'll talk about the next one in the next video. And then the other one's a racing game, so I'm not super huge on it. So they did talk about Forza Horizon 3 is coming out, Xbox One and PC, or Windows 10. What I was excited and disappointed about was obviously I couldn't see it on my TV because they're not streaming in 4K. But they did say that Forza Horizon 3 is going to be, it was demoed in 4K and HDR, which is absolutely phenomenal. So they showed off a 4K game, but that was the only 4K game they actually showed off. So we're still, I guess, a ways off from seeing actual 4K gaming. There we go. Fixing my notes. So you're racing a lot in Australia. There's new cars, 4-player campaign, and it's supposed to be super easy co-op, so people can just jump in mid-races and kind of play with each other. They also wanted it to be super social, and it's supposed to be coming out September 17th, or sorry, September 27th. And then they also, guy from Ubisoft came out, and Ubisoft press conference is next, is why I'm not going to go deep into this one. Ubisoft came out and showed off The Division for Xbox One, and that's going to be coming out June, I think is what I have here. I don't remember if I have the year, so forgive me on that. And then they also showed off Battlefield 1 again at this press conference on the Xbox One. If you have an Xbox, if you're an Xbox Live member and have EA Access, you're going to get to play it before the release date on October 13th. Normally it will be October 21st. Moving on to the next game, they actually showed off more of a really cool game they showed off last year, which was making me want to buy an Xbox, which was Recore. The game looks really, really cool still. And this year they showed off more gameplay, and they actually showed off, named some of the characters, like the dog or the wolf creatures, Mac. And just more cool gameplay overall with this game. I still don't think we got a release date on it. Let me check here. Recore. Xbox One. And it's part of that that Xbox Play Anywhere thing. So when you buy one version of it, you have it on the other console as well, which is that's a really cool thing. And I think it's only going to be Microsoft that's going to be able to pull that off. Next game up, Final Fantasy 15, which is coming out later this year, just a couple months away now. They showed a really cool demo of it here. I thought the voiceovers were pretty good, but what I really like about this video is just, so they're fighting Titan, which is a primal or a summon, depending on which Final Fantasy game you're looking at, but Titan is... he's a Titan, essentially. He's so big. It's like they're fighting a kaiju, basically. And during the fight, like an opposing army comes up and starts, so it's like turns into this crazy three-way battle. But it is... this makes me more excited for this game, just of how on such an epic scale that it is. There we go. They all threw some... they all like iced him. They cut Titan's arm off. Holy shit. Available September 30th, 2016. That game looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, too. So the people behind Minecraft came into... they talked about what they're calling their friendly update. It's going to be where you can host your own world. It's going to be cross-platform. It's coming to the Oculus Rift. Tons of stuff was available today. And then they do have some add-ons and some mods and stuff coming later this year as well. So there was also this game that came out. and it's called Inside. I have no idea what it's about, but it's got a cool art style. It's from the creators of Limbo, so you know it's probably good. What's also really cool about this is that the creators of Limbo came out and said, hey, guess what? Limbo's free for all Xbox One users this week, so if you haven't downloaded it yet, you should go download it right now. So another really cool, or at least very interesting game they showed off was called We the Happy Few. It's set in 1964, as you can see by the date on the clock there. October 9th, 1964. Like, there's almost nothing to go on except, like, you know, this guy apparently is forced to take these drugs, or has to take these drugs. Gonna skip a little bit of ahead here. Yeah, it's just a weird game. Previously, before this, he does see somebody getting, like, stabbed with, like, a syringe of some kind, and then they're hitting that pinata, but it doesn't sound like a pinata. Hit it! Hit it! It's like, oh, there's blood. What the hell? He's like, what? That's weird. And it's just like a fucking dead rat, and they're like fucking eating the shit out of it.
You are off your joy. Take one of mine.
He's off his joy.
Oh my lord. He's a downer. Call security.
Not a downer. Those are the worst types of people. This game looks really freaky, really cool. We Happy Few. I like the happy like 1960s music. It looks like a fun game as well. So moving on from that, another game they talked about was another card game. Seems to be kind of the theme this year. Card games, who knows? Well, this card game is called Gwent, and it's set in the Witcher universe, I believe. Developers are promoting a lot of strategy with it. You can win new cards, craft new cards, but it's supposed to be a very deep card game. And he was talking about, like, in some cases you'll want to lose a round so you can win the overall game and have things fall in your favor where they may, like... I thought that was kind of cool. It sounds neat. Not super into card games, so it might be one that I may or may not skip. So the next thing they brought in was back to fighting games. Akuma and Heihachi. Namco Bandai presents Two Beasts. So yeah, Tekken, new Tekken game coming out, Tekken 7. They didn't said it's coming to Xbox One. They didn't say it was an exclusive, so it's not going to be, I'm sure. They did say it's slated release is early 2017, and not only that, but Xbox Live Gold members get free Tekken. They can get a free copy of Tekken Tag Tournament 2 if you're an Xbox Live Gold member right now. So go get that. So there's lots and lots of game trailers in this press conference. I hope that's a trend for Sony as well this year. So I'm going to be on this screen a little bit more than usual. Started snowing in the audience, which I thought was a cool thing. Once it finally switches over to the gameplay, like, as you can see, it's set during Christmas, hence the snowing in the audience and the jingle bells. Dead Rising 4, I love that zombie catapult, that's so ridiculous. Game looks more ridiculous than ever, actually, so it looks like it should be a ton of fun. It's supposed to be coming both to PC and Xbox One. So Dead Rising 4 should be coming out holiday 2016. So holiday this Christmas. That's what I have written there. Set in Christmas time and coming out during Christmas time. Alright, moving on to the next game here. So moving on to the next game here. Game they talked about last year, if I remember correctly. This is Scalebound, but it looks like they've added multiplayer to it because friends are just warping in with huge beefy swords and dragons of their own. The game looks pretty cool. I like how it's a blend of like medieval and technological, like modern type stuff, which is really cool. So cool thing here where he turns into like a dragon person, a dragonkin, if you will. I don't know what that's called. But then they like just stab that dragon's heart until it explodes. Like bleh. It's like a giant spider. I guess it's not a dragon. I guess it's like a giant spider. That's one ugly motherfucker, though. When you and your friend, and your other friend stab a giant spider in the face. Coming 2017. So 2 more games to talk about before I end this thing finally. Let's let this trailer play for a little bit. Because it was pretty good. I almost thought this was a... This is my favorite part here through the gas station. Just freaking running over those zombies. And then like the driver that gets out. The driver's like this middle-aged woman that's just a complete badass. So this game looks pretty exciting. This is State of Decay 2. And God, there's so many zombie games out there. But this one looks like it should be quite a bit of fun. It looks like there's a lot of survivability to it, a lot of exploration, almost to the point of like an MMO, maybe even. I never did play State of Decay 1, but it is going to be coming to PC and Xbox, or Windows 10, I guess I need to say, and Xbox One in 2017.
You don't choose, I choose. I have the remote. I can choose. You don't have the remote. You can't choose.
They gotta go save their people, because no one survives alone. State of Decay 2. Pretty cool. So, moving on to the last game. There is a new Halo game in the works, Halo Wars 2, coming to Windows 10 and Xbox One. It kind of showed both of these two warriors just marching through the battlefield, just not caring about anything. One is the leader of the humans, obviously. One is the leader of a new faction called the Banished. And he's been reported that he is a very devious and creative new villain to the franchise. And that the crew that lands on this planet is not ready to take him on. And that game's going to come out February 21st, 2017. And it is a Play Anywhere title, which is pretty cool. What I also thought was really cool is there's a week-long beta on Xbox One that actually starts right now. And you guys, you Halo fans, should go get on that immediately, because why would you not? And I think that's going to wrap it up. I know a lot of these bigger games I was very brief on. I'm just not huge on some of these games. That's why I was so brief on it. I guess games I'm mostly excited for. That was shown off. Blah, 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 blah. If I was gonna have to pick an Xbox One exclusive, I'd probably take the Halo Wars game that's coming out. I was most excited to see probably more from Final Fantasy 15. However, that We Happy Few looks really fantastic. I'm a super fan of indie games, so that game I'm really excited to play. I think what blew me away the most was the Xbox One S. It's from my understanding, it's an Xbox One with a 4K Blu-ray player inside of it. 40% smaller, does HDR to 4K gaming, really sleek looking colors and stuff, and the 500 gig version is only going to be $299. That's $100 cheaper than Samsung's UHD Blu-ray player. I'm going to be selling a lot of Xbox One 500 gig Xbox One S's in the coming future at work, I think. So, what did you guys think? What was your favorite moment? I'm sure there's stuff that I could have expanded more on. Oh, like Recore. Recore is actually probably my favorite looking Xbox One exclusive. I forgot that was on the list there. But what are you guys excited for most? What did I forget to leave? What did I leave out? What did I forget? What should I have focused on more? Let me know in the comments below. Tell me what you think. If you liked my video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, be kind to each other, and I'll see you guys in the next video.